Good morning, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101, and today we'll be talking about Comcast. My bad, not Comcast. Comcast. Okay, your cable company, or some of you cable companies. Some of you may have Time Warner. Some of you may have AT&T, Verizon Fiber. Whether it's your internet or your cable, Verizon actually deal in both. Okay, they actually deal in both. So let's get into it because I have a little bit of information I want to share with you guys. If you guys stay to the end, which will be about 20 minutes, I have some bonus content for cheaper TV. Okay, I'll just let the cat out the bag right now. It's called All Access TV. A lot of people have been contacting me about it, and they're very, very happy with the service. You get over 1,000 channels, okay? And that's all your movie channels, all your Netflix movies, all your Hulu, all your Vudu, all that stuff for, depends on how many connections you have. It'll either be $50 for 5 connections, $35 for 1 connection, and $40 for 4 connections, something like that. But we'll get into the pricing of that. But let's do this very quickly because Comcast may or may not be a good investment for your portfolio, okay? So let's get into it. All right. Now, their 5 years, they've been doing around 60%, okay? The last 5 years, Comcast has been doing around 60%, which is not that bad because I believe they also give dividends. We'll get into that as well. Over the past year, Comcast has done only 0.27%. Last 3 months, they've been doing 20%. The last month, they're doing 6.35%. The last week, they're doing 0.73%. And of course, the last day or today is they've been doing 0.22%. Now, we understand that a lot of you, now I've had Comcast, and in my humble opinion, the internet, I don't recall I had Comcast cable a long time ago, Xfinity cable, Xfinity that, a long time ago. And it's always been very sketching on the billing, okay? I know we're talking about investments, but we need to understand the company again, that, that word research and analytics is just not about how they're performing when you're looking at statistics and analytics on a particular investment platform, but you kind of want to know how the company is doing overall. And the best research, the best information that you can ever receive is from yourself if you was a customer of Comcast. Now, the internet, I know for certain that they, at a certain given point, you may take, for instance, you paid for 150 megabytes, okay, download speed. I know after maybe a week or two, after you calling in or establishing your service, they actually dial you back. They actually slow down. And I've heard multiple technicians tell me the truth that they actually dial back your megabytes per second. That's why when you do a speed test, you're never getting those. Like, I remember I was paying for 150 megabytes and I did a speed test. I was only getting around 50. Yeah. But anyway, it may be a good company for you to invest in. Let's read about it. Comcast Corporation Class A common stock, also called Comcast, is a media, entertainment, and communication company which engages in the provision of video, internet, phone services. It operates through the following segments: cable communications, cable networks, broadcast television, film entertainment, theme parks, and Sky. The cable communication segment provides video, internet, voice, and security and automation service under the Xfinity brand. The cable network segment consists of national cable networks, regional sports, news networks, international cable networks, and cable television studio production and operations. I'm not going to read all the rest of that stuff. It's not really that pertinent. Now, they have almost 200,000 employees. The CEO is Brian L. Roberts, and their headquarters out of Philadelphia, okay? Founded back in 1963. Dividends are 1.97%. Their collections is consumer sales and retail, entertainment, media, Pennsylvania, and telecom. And here are some of the top stories. We're not going to get into that. Now, analyst rating. Out of 32 analysts, 75% say buy. 25% say hold, but 0 says sales. Now, this is the one thing that really is interesting because Comcast is notorious for getting bad consumer ratings. That's for one. And two, now granted, they're a conglomerate, they're huge. They own other companies, and I believe Disney owns Time Warner. I don't know if they own Comcast, because Comcast owns some other brands as well. But nonetheless, I'm gonna see what the bulls say, because on this one, no one is saying sell. Okay, no one is saying sell. Comcast cable networks provide a platform to easily meet customers' growing bandwidth demands, which should drive steadily market share gains, ensuring that recurring revenue and cash flow remain strong. Dense fixed line networks provide Comcast with the opportunity to push deeper into business services, market, and play a crucial role into deployment of 5G technology. Now, with direct access to consumers across the US and Europe, few companies have as many ways to monetize content investment, which should make Comcast a destination for the best writers, directors, and actors. Okay. So the only way that I can see Comcast competing, especially in the streaming network, now the internet portion of their business is the hallmark of their business now, as people are moving to streaming only services where they're not getting your traditional cable. Now, granted, there's some people out there still with DirecTV. There are some people out there with still, Time Warner and Comcast cable, and some other like Cox Cable, some other brands that are local to that city or local to that state or that region rather. So, but Comcast, Time Warner, they're holding it down on a very nationwide level. Okay. And it's a monopoly. That's why they can charge you those prices. And essentially, I'm not going to lie, I haven't had cable. Man, it's been at least 10 plus years. I've been streaming. I remember when, before Cody ever came out, you guys are familiar with Cody. Before Cody ever came out, I was downloading everything. I was downloading movies. I was downloading shows. Then Cody came on the scene. Then I was doing Cody. Then all these little, apps that are not associated with Google that you can download to Google or to your Fire Stick. I was doing that. But now I'm in a service called All Access TV. And it's simply phenomenal because they have a lot of support. And there's a paid service nonetheless, but it's way cheaper than your regular cable, okay? Now, the other holdings is AT&T, Verizon, Cisco, and Coca-Cola. Now, as we get over to Market Watch, all right, we look at their 52-week range. I hate this thing that pops up back to the top. Nope, I don't want to do that. Why this thing always pops up? Okay, the 52-week range is $31 to $47 or $48 roughly, okay? So not too much of a big swing, probably about $13, $14 in there. Then also we come down to EPS. Now, even though I read that Comcast is $100 billion in debt, but as I'm seeing here that they're a company that's operating out of profit, and also you have those dividends. Now, again, I keep telling you guys, if you guys are looking for dividend-based stocks, a lot of companies are not giving a lot of dividends, okay? It's 1.97, or right here they have almost 2% in dividends. Man, it's only 23 cents. It's not even worth if you don't believe that this stock is underrated, okay, undervalued, so you can actually get some potential for growth in this particular stock. All right, let's move along. Now, as we all know, we're just looking at any additional information. Now, the divisions of Comcast that you guys may or may not know is Xfinity, NBC Universe, and Sky Group, okay? Those are some other places that you guys may not have known because they also own NBC as well, okay? NBC as well. And here's some other people who are involved with Comcast. The Roberts family at 1% equity interest at 33% voting power, okay? So they have a third of the voting power when it comes to Comcast. Now, I have some questions. Let me get into the other companies that Comcast owns, okay? Let's see the title here. 5 companies owned by Comcast. You have AT&T. And this is going to explain a lot about my service, okay? About my service, AT&T, NBC Universal, Sky, DreamWorks Animation, and Zumo, okay? So those are the companies that Comcast actually owns, okay? So let me give some shout outs very quickly. Let me see who's in the chat. Good morning, Charles Green. Good morning, ICAM. Nice to see everybody here. Good morning, Wendell. Hey, Wendell, don't cut your words, man. Don't cut your words, okay? Don't cut your words, okay? Because you're talking about, he said Comcast is a piece of work. I know what you wanted to say. Put that little sign in there, that dookie in there. Comcast is a piece of, yeah. Nolan Baptiste says, good morning. Good morning to you, good sir. And thank you for moderating again today. All right, let's move along. Okay, wrong one. All right, here we go. Here's some questions that I popped up that I wanted to go over with you guys, right? Some basic questions. Why? So first and foremost, in 2016, only 4 years ago, Consumer Reports telecom service ratings reported that Comcast was among the bottom dwellers in overall customer satisfaction. They're among the bottom dwellers in overall customer satisfaction. Frequent complaints about Comcast service includes stuffing bills with unnecessary services. What they mean is stuffing bills with unnecessary prices, okay? And also charges. That's what they mean, unnecessary charges. Hidden service fees, they're not hidden. Outsized cancellation fees and improper credit checks. Now, granted, I know we're talking about investing in Comcast, but again, I'm not going to just give you one side of the story, like go ahead and invest in Comcast. No, I want to give you the full picture of a company because we understand when we're breaking down and we're analyzing and researching the company, we need to look at the pros and we need to look at the cons and see if we're still going to invest inside that company. Why is Comcast so awful? Comcast is so bad. It says it's a family-owned business. The business model, when they came into a market, they sabotaged the competitors' lines, and before they figured it all out, their customers have left Comcast and they go for broke. All right. Let's see what else. What other? It says here, Comcast earned Consumerist Worst Company in America title twice, first in 2010, then again in 2014. It ranks at the very bottom of American Consumer Satisfaction Index, underperforming even the rest of the cable industry, where high prices, poor reliability, and declining customer service are endemic. Now, granted, they say all of that, and guess what? When I was in Washington State, the only service that I could get in my area was who? Xfinity, which is Comcast. So with that being said, we need to understand, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm from the East Coast. I'm from Washington, D.C. When I was in Washington, D.C., the only service I could know, was it Texas the first time? I think it was Texas the first time. The only people I could get is Time Warner. I don't remember when I was in D.C. Maybe it was Comcast too. But Comcast and Time Warner, they had this shared monopoly where they operate in certain regions, and they may be the only service provider in your apartment complex, in your neighborhood with your houses, in your trailer parks, or it doesn't matter, right? That's the only service that you can get. Or there's a smaller service that don't have all of the content and broadband speeds that Comcast or Time Warner has. That doesn't mean that Comcast is a bad investment, okay? It doesn't mean that Comcast is a bad investment because you may want to stop, because here's the thing. The only thing that Comcast has to do is change with the times. First and foremost, stop, people want to cut the cord. That's the new thing. For the past 3 or 4 years, people are talking about cutting the cord. So if Comcast moves to a lot of streaming services and lower their prices and do some work on their consumer relations and their customer support and customer service, then this stock was going to blow up. Now, I didn't get into what the bull said, okay? They said Comcast cable networks provide a platform to easily meet consumers' growing bandwidth demands, which should drive steady market share gains, ensuring that recurring revenue and cash flowing remain strong. Dense fixed line networks provide Comcast with the opportunity to push deeper into the business services market and play a crucial role in the deployment of 5G technology. Now, with direct access to the consumer across the U.S. and Europe, few companies have as many ways to monetize content, which should make Comcast a destination for the best writers, directors, and actors. Now, I read this before, but I want to drive home that there is some room for potential for growth. That is what we need to understand. Now, I know you guys are, as far as investment, you're going to think about that investment, right? But the question that I have for you guys, right? You want all the movies, shows, and sport at a very, very frugal and, quite frankly, a cheap price, right? You want all the movies on Netflix. You want all the movies on Prime Video. You want all your shows. I got it. Oh, got it. As we work from home, shoot, I have a TV right here because when I had my desk positioned the other way, excuse me as I play with my eye here. When I had my desk turned around, you guys can see my TV in the background because I'm always watching, especially during the morning. I'm either watching stocks or I'm watching my show. I'm not going to even lie to you. You know, I'm doing research and I'll look up there and glance at my show every now and again. But the question is this: you want all of this content for a very frugal price. Now, to get all the movies, all the shows, whether you had Netflix, Prime, what else? What else is out there? You have Prime, Netflix, HBO Max, HBO Go, HBO that. You have all these ones that you can actually stream online. The question that you have is, how can I get all of that plus all the football games, all the basketball games? Well, as I showed a video about a month ago that I'm involved with a service called All Access TV. And it's very, very frugal compared to that. Now, I've set people up. I have my email in the description below for you guys to contact me about that. But I'm going to briefly go over now the website. Now, granted, you cannot, I'm going to repeat this, you cannot sign up without an agent, okay? Because even though I'm going to show you some information on the website, you cannot sign up without the agent, okay? Without an agent, okay? So you need to contact me on this. So if you try to go this on your own, then you'll see why you can't do it. Anyway, let's move on. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is the page I will walk people through. And for your first initial fee, is $15. And after that, of course, it goes away, right? Then now, all of this is loaded on your Amazon 4K Fire Stick, okay? A lot of you are going to ask, can I do it on my computer? Can I do this? Not yet. You can't do that yet. This is all solely based on your Amazon Fire Stick, okay? And whether you have one connection, you have 3 connections, 5 connections, 10 connections. Here's the price. So I'm just going to do what most people put in. Most people go with the 5 connections, okay? Because you might have a TV in your bedroom, the kids, the living room, and another room. Like you might only have 4 TVs, unfortunately, because of the way that they actually price is at a certain price point. Most people I know get either 3 connections or 5 connections. So I'm going to go with 5. So the only thing you need to do, I'm going to walk you through this when you contact me in the email below. I'm going to put a 1 inside the box. And then if you want any of this content, where it's absolutely free, whether it's Canada, UK, Caribbean, Latin America, and Mexico, you also put a 1 inside those boxes if you want it. That service is actually free. Then the paid packages, you have your all-in plus, and then you have your all-in. And all-in plus basically is sex movies and stuff, like X-rated stuff. If you're into that thing, that's fine. If you want some porn, that's fine. But if you don't want the porn, you still want the 5,000 channels with all the movies and all the sports, you have it, okay? So you put a 1 inside that box. Then all this information here is included in all in. You get all the pay-per-view, the Ultra HD, the adult content, the international, the on-demand. And the video on demand is like, I just watched Mulan, 2 weeks ago, like almost when it first came out, in HD content. Not no one video camera. Again, this is not your regular service where you're like, oh, dude, is it Cody? No, it's nothing like that. This is a platform that they're building, okay, that they're in business with all these other services. And that's why they're kind of going through this agent thing. But listen, when I add those all to the cart, you're going to see the first initial price. Again, this is for 5 connections, okay? This is for 5 connections. And then when I scroll down, your first initial price, okay, off of 5 connections is going to be $65. Now, after that, it's going to be $50 a month. $50 a month. And when I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be all the sports, okay? Not just football, not just basketball, but if you're a baseball fan, a hockey fan, horse racing, soccer, water polo, swimming. I mean, everything is in HD content, okay? Everything is in HD content. And I shared this video with people before, okay? And a lot of people ask me, is it solely on the Amazon Fire Stick? Right now it is. And when it comes to installation, I call you up, we talk about it. The calls will last anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes, but after that, you're on your own. I also give you instructions. It doesn't take that long, and believe me, the service is worth it, okay? The service is worth it. Again, I just want to show you guys the pricing again because it's absolutely phenomenal. I've been using this for the past year, okay? You have 1, 3, 5, and 10 connections. And all of these include your 1,000+ channels. Whether you have 10, I don't know why they didn't put it here, but you also have 1,000+ channels. And I know some people who will buy 10 connections and then with their account number get, say, hey man, give me $20 a month. You get all the sports, all the movies, all the channels, and then make a business from that. Hey, I'm not stopping nobody's hustle, okay? But anyway, that's your first initial fee of $15. Then after that, it goes away, okay? Then most people get the 5 connections, as I said before, which is only $25 plus your add-on paid packages. You got your all-in plus and you have your all-in, which is another $25. Now, granted, if you were to go over the 3 connections, because it's your bedroom, your living room, and maybe your kids' room. So I'm going to show you the price for that. Now, and again, I want you guys to subtract $15 after the first month, okay? $15 after the first month. Let's see here. It says got one here, got one here. Do I need to refresh? Because it said everything is in my cart. Let me refresh really quickly. Refresh really quickly here. 111. Let's see if they're gonna let me add it to the cart. 130. They didn't add both of them to the cart. They so silly. But anyway, the price for 3 connections would be $45. Okay, would be $45 after 3 months. Okay. So you guys have any questions regarding All Access TV, I have my email in the description below. The only thing you need to contact me, we'll set up a time and date, and then I'll give you my business number. We'll make a call. We'll set up your account, and then we will go through installation of one stick. Because after you learn it one time, I'm gonna email you the instructions. It's absolutely easy. It's nothing crazy. I promise you, it's nothing crazy. Like, in Kodi, you had to download repositories and move this, and you had to be a computer whiz. I mean, I did it, but I looked at a lot of videos to do it. This 30, 40 minutes, you're in there like swimwear. I watched the game last night. I can't believe the Lakers lost by 8. They should have came back and won, but nonetheless, I'm not a Laker fan. I'm a Wizards fan. I don't know the last time they've been in the playoffs. But anyway, you get all the football games. They have multi-screens. And also, if you guys just want to know more information about All Access TV, I will share an information video with you, okay? I can share an information video with you. Just let me know in the email below. Either you want this service or want to know more about it, and I can share that video with you. Just let me know, and I'll make it available, okay? So again, even though we're talking about Comcast, we're talking about investments, but you may want to invest in Comcast, but you also may want to buy a cheaper service when it comes to your internet. Now, granted, I didn't show you this. I have AT&T, okay? Comcast owns AT&T. Let me do a speed test very quickly so I can show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to go here. This one just looks better. Now, I have AT&T, who is owned by Comcast. AT&T Internet right here out of Dallas, okay? So I'm going to do a speed test very quickly so you guys can see. Now, I have the fastest service. I have a gigabyte of service. But look at this. I don't get near a gigabyte. I don't even get 500. Okay? I'm only up at 300 some megabytes per second. And the reason why I have this fast internet is because I'm on YouTube. You want the fastest internet. Now, granted, upload is important for YouTubers because we're uploading streams to YouTube versus downloading something to our computers or to some sort of network, okay? So again, I'm not even getting close to not a gigabyte, gigabyte worth of speed. I'm only getting 52 on download and 444. But again, Comcast owns AT&T. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a whole hell of a lot. This is Financial Literacy 101. Learn money and be inspired. If you want great HD TV for a very frugal price, then hit my email below and let me know if you want to know more. You guys have a great and wonderful day, and I will see you guys later. I'm out.